first and foremost, you can never steal my notes because how God works is what's for you is for you.
That's right.
So ooh, how Mr. Calloway? I'm having a moment. Okay. I did write a speech about my mother, but we all know I don't do well with writing speeches, so that's not going to happen. But I will give you this one notation that's very important. Everything that is done in God's order, you will know. Whoever your creator is, whoever you pray to, whoever you speak to, whatever divine connection that you have, when things align, you will see them transform right in front of you, whether you believe it or not. My friend Trayon came up here today, and that's my friend. And I have to remember sometimes when he is in all power that who he is to call him council member. Because what I've learned is we allow ourselves to put the people that are around us that we love into small boxes because we love them the way that we do, and we don't give them the reverence and understanding of who they are while they are alive, council member. That was my mother's problem because she was so much to so many people that they forgot who she was. She was a big stepper who wore small shoes because she didn't want anybody to feel stepped over. So when my friend came up here, what he said really got me because my mother used to read Psalms 1 to me all the time. And in Psalms 1, 2, and 3 it says, "But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doth he meditate day and night, and he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water that bringeth forth his fruit in his season, and whatever he does." Because his leaf shall not wither, but whatever he does shall prosper. That's what we have to remember. When it is in God's time and it's for you, it will happen. And we can stand here all day long and we can talk about all of the great things that she did, but the unfortunate part about it is we didn't see it until it was too late. Because we were so busy sitting at her feet and crying about our problems, including myself, that we didn't understand that we were standing in somebody's light that was in divine connection with God's purpose. I have never met a person who came in real contact with my mother. We're not talking about the flesh, we're not talking about the emotion, we're talking about the spirit of who she was, who didn't learn something. Never. That's why she was about education, because she was always educated by default. When we move into a space of being in this Ward 8 community and we look at these babies around us, I want for all of us to think about, my mother was one of these babies. You can't look at how big this woman was and not realize that in 1966 she was pregnant at 16 years old. She had a baby at 17 years old, and how we talk about the little girl that was walking to the bus stop, you're talking about Miss Pinkney, baby. When you talk about the little girl who was dragging her kid down the street trying to hurry up and get him to school, because I'm going to tell you this, because I have to educate you while I understand what really happens to people. When that child comes to school and the mother is late and they are not clean because she couldn't wash them up, or they didn't have water, or the child may have on $3,000 tennis shoes, but they really don't have any food in their house because she knows a booster. That was Miss Pinkney's baby. When we stand as educators in a classroom and you say to a child that's in the 3rd grade, "Why are you late every day?" You don't know what that child went through to get to that school. You don't know what other siblings they had to take to school. You don't know what their plight is. So when we stand on the heels of a giant and realize that in real life, she played small because she understood what small felt like. She knew what it was to be looked past and talked about and talked over. My mother fought very hard, as those before us have said, for her legacy. But this is the reality. When she went away from here on September the 30th, 2016, at 10:32 p.m., they couldn't wait till 10:35 p.m. to start to rewrite the story. The reason why the school is in the state that it is because people got greedy and they didn't realize that it was a woman's black woman. An unfortunate woman in a space that she was so unloving of herself that she allowed people to play with her because she didn't understand who God really was inside of her, because it resonated so deeply that she just was who she was.
Come on, O.
And you played with her legacy. See, what you don't understand is that God will prepare a table for you in the midst of your enemies.
Come on.
What's never going to happen is that you can't walk past who she was without not realizing who you are, because when you're great, you pull it out of people. When you're weak, you sit in weakness. That didn't happen with her. I've never met a person who walked anywhere near her, even in listening to her conversations that weren't for them, and didn't begin to do something different with their lives. I'm not perfect by far. And while I stand up here and quote all of these wonderful Bible verses because I'm well versed in everything that I do, I can cuss with the best of them. Then judge me if you want to. Because see, that's the problem that we have. We don't understand the big picture. Let's stop thinking in the small spaces in which we exist and look at the bigger picture of what it is. I'm not even an employee at Eagle Academy because they fired me. But I'm my mother's daughter and you can't have her legacy. So let's talk about what it really is. The truth of the matter is we're not in this space because we are bitter or broken. We are in this space because we are finally healed. God didn't allow this moment to come until I could forgive those who wronged me. Don't mean I want to talk to you. Don't mean we're going to get ice cream. But the reality behind it is I have forgiven those who have trespassed against me. Because let's be real, I'm not perfect either, baby. So when you go outside and you look at this street name, I want it to resonate in your spirit that this woman had a baby at 17 years old, and they turned their back on her, and they talked about her, and he had ADHD. And when she opened Eagle Academy, it was because of the dream she had for that little broken boy that wouldn't anybody service the way that he needed to be serviced. So while you out here judging these little boys for fighting, shooting, killing people, just know that they may not have been given a proper chance, or the hug, or the love that they needed. We have a parent that's sitting in this room that sat on the board when Eagle Academy first started, and both of her children went to Eagle Academy, and both of them have been taken away from her. And she's sitting in this room on this day when she could be anywhere else because my mother loved her. See, this is what it's about, man. If you want to be a part of Cassandra Pinkney's legacy in every way, remember it's about connection.
Yeah.
It's not about what somebody can do for you. When I have friendships with people and I love you because of who you are. There are a lot of people in this room that have poured into me. I don't have to get up and tell everybody what conversation I had. I don't have to tell you how close I am to somebody. When I walk into a room, because I'm going to keep using you right here, friend. When I walk into a room with the council member, he's the council member. And I respect his space. See, that's how we have divine connection and love for people. You respect them for who they are and what they've done. If you ever want to carry the torch of what my mother did, remember to show up for people, but respect them in the moments when you show up. It's not about you. Don't go to somebody else's wedding and make it about you. Don't show up at the funeral and overcry the family. At some point, you have to realize that being a part of greatness means that sometimes it's just not your moment. Mm-hmm. So while I wrote this little cute speech, y'all, and I typed it up.
We don't need it. We don't need it.
And I was at my job with my new work girlfriend, because you know when you at work, your friends can be 70, 40, 50, 60, you be 25. Your work best to be 20, 30 years younger, older than you. And I was in the classroom, and she came and checked on me, and I said, yeah, I got these little Bible verses, I'm going to read all these things. And I didn't read one word. But let me tell you what that's a testament to. God's plan.
Come on.
Because see, you can sit down and you can write it out and you can do whatever you think you're going to do. Because even in the Bible it says, write it out and make it plain, and that's real cute. But I want you to understand that what God has for you, you know, you put on that paper what you thought it was going to be. He's going to extract what he needs from you. And he's going to make it be what he wants it to be for his divine glory. And if you miss the mark, that's on you, baby, because you can't have my blessings.
Yes.
So while I thank all of you for coming out today, I want you to understand that this is a small piece of a bigger picture. Back up so you can see the picture. Get out the way so somebody else can win. Stand tall so your children and your family know what it is. If you fail, it's because you gave up on yourself. Mm-hmm. Just understand that you may not get all of your flowers today. They might not applaud you tomorrow. They might not show up at all of your events. But when God has something for you, if you stand in the favor of forever legacy, and she's been gone since 2016, and we're just getting started. So when Friendship called and said that they were a part of what they wanted this legacy to be like, and I had a conversation with Miss Pat, who people are scared to death of, because she plays no games.
Come on.
And she's about her business. And anybody knows anything about a black woman, when they about their business, everybody got something to say. They scared of you, they don't want to talk to you, they don't know how to approach you. But she talked to me, and her thing was, I want to be a part of the legacy. I want us to keep the school, because we don't need them to sell it for $2.50 to people that don't look like us. But if that doesn't manifest, I'm going to be a part of her legacy. Because they can't break what they didn't make. So I want for all of you to be humble enough to realize that you have a lot of people around you that have moved mountains, that have created visions, that are doing great things. And if you don't take time to back up off the picture, you're not going to be able to appreciate them while they're here. I appreciate you all. I love you all. And I want you to know this is just the first thing that we're going to do. Because in the way that God works, this is the beginning. And the only way that this could work was because God put me in divine order to have a conversation with my friend who showed up in my mother's office with his mentor, and I didn't know who he was, and he didn't know who I was. And when my mommy died, he called me on the phone and said, so what you gonna do? Because I'm the council member now, so what's up? And put me to work. And had me in his office, volunteering and learning and growing. And what I didn't understand, because again, I was too close up on the picture, I didn't understand what that was. God had divined these steps a long time ago. I got to meet some great people who people look at and they scared to talk to. I got to talk to Martha Lockridge, baby.
Come on.
Her husband is William O. Lockridge. Now, if you know anything about education, you know something about something.
Come
That
on.
woman got libraries and foundations and all kinds of things going on. And when I wanted to start this street, you know what both of them said? Oh, that's okay. Connection. When you can make a phone call and say, I want a street name, and the only thing your friend can say to you, know, it's a lot of violence on that street. You sure? Yes, friend. You sure? Yes, friend. All right. And life went on, and a couple months later, Ms. Locke was coming back and saying, hey, they're putting it up for vote. I thought they forgot about it. Connection. God is going to put people in your path. And as long as you speak to the God in them, you make sure that they see the God in you. It's going to all be okay.
Amen.
Thank you.